Patreon Q&A number 70, part 2. Part 1 was released earlier today. I still want to thank all 107 of my exquisitely overpowered patrons. I love you guys so much. And to everyone else listening, there's going to be spoilers in these questions and answers, so tread carefully. Free-Tshirts asks, hey Shonen, excluding Amai Mask and the Disciples, who are the top 10 strongest A-class? So this is a good question, very difficult to answer, but I'll give you a rough list right now. It's not exactly 100% accurate, but it's, it's somewhat in a step in the right direction, at least I think. So 10, we have Feather, 9, Lightning Max, 8, Blue Fire. I mean, his ability is pretty significant. 7, Twin Tail. I mean, he or she, pretty sure it's just she, has like all those weapons, pretty good skills. Shadow Ring, a ninja, pretty fast, good, effective techniques and stuff. Pretty formidable. Stinger, he's kind of proven himself to be like a Tiger Buster at least, and he had a pretty good reader on the Okami Mask. Death Gatling, I mean, he was like the leader of that group for a reason. I mean, with his gun, of course, he's pretty darn powerful. 3, Green, one of the most significant abilities of any of the A-class. Like, we saw what it was even able to do against, like, Neon, and that was pretty impressive. One-shotter, I hold him in pretty high regard. He's pretty deadly, especially if, like, he comes prepared. And then I put Great Philosopher at number 1 just because he had such an outrageous reading on the Okami Mask. It was like 2,445 or something like that, which was much higher than Stinger, who was already proven to be pretty effective. Even though we haven't seen Great Philosopher in action, I just put him here just because his outrageous reading. Joseph K asks, hey Shonen, it's been a while since I've asked anything just because I'm away at university studying for exams, but should all be done by the time this Q&A comes out. Anyways, I think the first time I asked you way back was how you decide whether you watch a new anime or go back to read the manga and then read past. I was hoping One Punch Man Season 2 would be great so I could compare with knowing everything that was going to happen with an anime like My Hero, where I really try to avoid spoilers, but unfortunately it was pretty below average for an anime and really bad when compared with the manga. Unfortunately, that is true. It's a very subjective question, but do you think you got less of a reaction from seeing the anime where events like Genos' surprise entrance to face Garo or Mirio's quirk erasure because you knew about it? Or for you, is watching the anime mainly about seeing the animated fights and visuals and not really needing any story since you get it from the manga? I just don't want to read ahead because I feel like I'll enjoy the anime less, but maybe you found it different. Interested in hearing your thoughts. Peace, man. So, if I wasn't a YouTuber, I would probably just be an anime exclusive. That's kind of how I was with One Punch Man at first. I was like, you know what, I'll just stick with the anime regardless of how long it comes out, because I was just a casual at that point. I wasn't really too invested. But now that I am invested, I have to read the manga. I love reading the manga. I love going ahead. And as for the anime, it's basically what you're saying. It's like reliving it, seeing it animated, seeing the visuals, but also sometimes the anime adds more context to things, and it establishes and explores things more so than the manga, like that what we typically wouldn't have seen, or we'll just get more clarification on things. And that's another reason why I like the anime. One Piece is good at doing this. My Hero is very good at doing this. One Punch Man, season 1 it was, but season 2, very lackluster as we established. So it's more so like that for me. Even though I know that Mirio is going to lose his quirk and Garo is going to show up, it's still just awesome seeing those moments animated and just, like I said, gathering more details from the animation that we normally wouldn't be able to gather just from looking at a panel or something. Kyrin asks, hey Shonen, new pledge here. Since I love your videos and have a decent paying job now, I can finally support you more. Hey, thank you so much, Kyrin. I really do appreciate that more than you know. If you were to give people from My Hero a One Punch Man disaster level, what would they be? I have some specifics that I'm curious about, like Overhaul and Rappa, as well as Endeavor and Gang Orca, because Gang Orca's awesome. I was curious what you think they would be classified as if they were given a disaster level. Sorry if you've had these before. I have the memory of a road sign. I haven't been asked that, but even if I have, you feel free to ask any question you want. It's no problem, really. So, most of these guys are demons. Overhaul, definitely a demon. But he's not really going over into dragon level because he's like missing the speed and the strength and the durability and other things like that to really go to that level. His quirk is super significant. If he was like, as strong as, let's say, 5% or 10% of full caling, he might be able to go to dragon level because that's just such a significant ability. Rappa, definitely maybe like a low demon, somewhere around there. He's pretty big, pretty powerful. I don't think he's going any higher than that. He might even be like above Tiger, but I think we'll be generous and give him like a low demon. It's pretty significant, his ability. Endeavor, he's like almost Dragon, honestly. I mean, he is one of the best quirks. He has mastery of it. So versatile. When he uses like Blast Burn, that's like way more powerful than I think what we've seen of like almost any demon, really. So, I mean, he's not the fastest. His durability is pretty good too. His strength's awesome. He could very likely be like a low Dragon. Gang Orca, he's like a certified demon. That ability is a little too broken, though the sonar thing, it's so versatile. So I would give him like a low demon, but he's, like most of them, he's missing out on the speed and the overall raw strength and durability like the rest of them, but I think that's pretty solid for him. Second question, what hero class do you think Saitama was before he became almighty? More specifically, in the bonus episode where we see him clear out that apartment, take down that guy who says he's an A-class bounty, do you think he was just an A-class material as he was? Do you think he was on the cusp of S-class? P.S. Good luck with pronouncing my name. Everyone seems to struggle with it. I think it's Kyrin. I hope it's right. But I think Saitama in the Road to Hero VA was definitely A-class. More towards the lower end of the A-class, like, towards like snack territory probably. I don't think he's on the cusp of S-class yet. But like the way that he took down those guys, and like he said that he was being pushed to his limit towards the end of the OVA when he was going against that guy with the whip. So I think that's a pretty good indication of where he is really. He's not like over excelling to where he's like completely destroying these guys to like what an S-class would do. But if you're looking for like when training Saitama was like S-class level, I think it's the bonus chapter where everyone goes into the shelter because of the cicada nymphs. And then he breaks out and he like one punches that thing, which is a demon. So I think that's when he's like S-class level, like a couple months or maybe more or less before he removes his limiter. Mellow asks, "Hello, Shonen. Who do you think would win if Uraraka and Yaoyorozu matched up against each other?" I think this is Uraraka's fight to win all day. I think she's much better than Yaoyorozu in pretty much almost every aspect. Like she has way more experience, way more training than Yaoyorozu. Like she's been interning with Ryukyu, so much longer than what Yaoyorozu has been doing. And I just think her quirk is pretty much superior, or at least the way that she uses it. Yaoyorozu is no slouch, and it would be kind of competitive, but Uraraka would definitely get the upper hand in the end. And she had a way better performance in the joint training arc than Yaoyorozu did. Also, remember the forest training arc when Deku said that the team who was going to protect Bakugo could defeat All Might. What would really happen if they actually did fight All Might? Thanks. So I'm glad you asked this because I talked to one of my friends about this when I was showing them that episode. And I just think it's so funny that Izuku said that because I think it was kind of like Horikoshi trying to express his naivety. Really, there's no way in hell that team could take down All Might. Like, it's even debatable if like the top 10 Billboard heroes could take down All Might. And this is like really surprising that Deku would say this, especially because it was coming after he had that exam with Bakugo against All Might when he was wearing the weight reducing or the weight suppressing bracer things, and he was still like blowing away city blocks, moving faster than what he could perceive, destroying them both effortlessly while still holding back with a power deficit. He would vaporize that team if he really wanted to very easily. What was it? Shoji, Bakugo, Todoroki, and Deku, and then I think Tokoyami was there. No way in hell. I'm ashamed Izuku said that. Mr. Awesome asks, "Hey Shonen, you doing good?" "I'm doing all right. I hope you're doing good, Mr. Awesome." Anyway, my question this week are a 1 versus 20 battle, all of class 1A from the beginning of the series versus Tank Top Master. And how about training camp class 1A against him? How do you think these turn out, assuming that Tank Top Master is completely willing to murder a bunch of children, Anakin style? So I think that it's going to be competitive, kind of, because they all have, pretty good skills, pretty good quirks. Even at the beginning of the series, like Todoroki, Bakugo, and Izuku would probably give him the most trouble, of course. And then you would have backup from like Uraraka, Tsuyu, Yaoyorozu. They can help as well. But I think Tank Top Master is really going to kill a lot of them. Especially if he just starts off smashing the ground like he did against Garo. It's really not working. But like Izuku at the beginning of the series, I think would have a really good shot. of hurting him. If he just goes like 100% right off the bat and does like an air force or tries to punch him, at the expense of destroying himself, I think that would really mess up Tank Top Master. And then, of course, Todoroki using his ice maybe would stifle him a little bit. And then it really depends on how powerful of a blast that Bakugo can generate. I think it's kind of competitive, but in the end, Tank Top Master is probably going to take care of all of them. And it's probably the same towards the training camp. Izuku would be more skilled if he can tap into the quote-unquote 1,000,000% like what he did against Muscular. Then maybe he can KO Tank Top Master. But aside from that, this is going to be like Anakin-style massacre pretty much. Tank Top Master is just so powerful compared to them at that point. My next question is, what do you think happens if you make a Sea Prism Stone item eat a devil fruit like the Elephant Sword guy from One Piece? Thanks for your answers, Shonen. I know I only recently became a patron, but your Q&As have become the highlights of my week. You rock. Hey, you rock, Mr. Awesome. Thank you for the support. And this is an awesome question because I have no idea. Because first of all, we don't even know how the items eat the fruits. I love how they just nonchalantly say it. They never explain it, and they know that you're confused. They're like, because when we first saw Spondem using the elephant sword, it was like, how the hell did that happen? He was like, well, my sword ate an elephant fruit. And then when we go back to Alabasta and we see that dog baseball shooting thing, they say the same thing. Like, no, this rocket launcher ate a dog fruit. And it's like, they don't explain it because I guess Vegapunk figured out how to do it somehow. But if it was like a Sea Prism Stone item, man, it's such a complex, interesting question because, like, would the Sea Prism Stone even be able to eat a devil fruit? Would the devil fruit just die if you, like, tried to give it Sea Prism Stone item or something like that? I don't think we've ever seen how a devil fruit interacts with Sea Prism Stone. Or, like, what would happen. I think that maybe it wouldn't work. Because, obviously, like, the Sea Prism Stone is like the kryptonite to the devil fruit. So I assume that maybe it would just kill the devil fruit if that were to happen, I'm assuming. Paxson D asks, hey, Shonen, hope you had a good week, my friend. I have, and I hope you have as well, Paxson. What are your favorite One Punch Man manga panels? I always love the one after Saitama shows up in front of Suiryu and say, leave the rest to me. So cool. Yes, I agree. That is very cool. But most of my favorite ones are like Garo. So I love the one when he's like, the hunt is on. That's one of the most iconic panels from Chapter 92 when he's like perched up on that rock. I also love when Saitama encounters Orochi and you see him just towering over him. I think that's incredible. And I also love the panel when we see Zombie Man when he's like has his axe in his one hand and he has like cigarette in the other. It's like time to go on another rampage. There's just so many great panels in this series, which you're well aware of. Last week, I asked if Golden S was the right move. I meant more of a battle of attrition, really. Tatsumaki was badly damaged, and Black S has a hostage. I know Golden S is way more powerful than Black S, but he had 13 trillion backups, and obviously Tatsumaki and Garo are stronger than him, but they could defeat him before they tire, especially Tatsumaki. Brutal Garo killed 99 in one punch, so to kill 13 trillion, it would take a while, haha, or maybe just have his ability wrong. Anyway, have a great week, man. I'll see you soon. So I think you're overestimating how powerful these 13 trillion individually they would be, because we saw that, which I assume is one Black S currently in the webcomic. He said that a puppy could beat him, so they're nothing. They're like beyond weak. So I don't think the endurance would be really an issue. It would take a really long time, of course, to take care of like trillions of things. But I mean, I think he could hit Tatsumaki and Priwo Garo could just mow down like thousands at a time. Weaker than puppy level Black S's. Yeah, it would take really long, but honestly, I think in the end, the right choice is Golden S, regardless of if it's attrition or not. It's just that Black S, he's kind of like at a standstill here. He can test himself in trying to endurance test them, but in the end, it's just not looking good for him, in my opinion. The one above all patrons, Wolf Pup asks, do you think we will see Genos, aka Skyrim Genos, in the next chapter because he didn't show up to help Team Fubuki take down Rover? I'm hoping he shows up in the next chapter, maybe throw in random fodder monster on his way down, his new Daedric form. I want to see what Genos can do in the new Daedric armor. All we saw was him drop the F-bomb on G5's true form. What do you think? Realistically, I believe he could take down an executive member like Homeless Emperor and Gums. Okay, so maybe he's going to help Child Emperor out of Evil Natural Water's prison jutsu. And Child Emperor's like, oh, Genos, I didn't expect you here. Sorry if we excluded you from the operation. It's a far stretch, though. What do you think?
So surprisingly, I mean, I don't think it's that far of a stretch. Because Genos is completely unaccounted for. As we know, his webcomic storyline is not playing out. And if he was going to show up, I think he would have shown up to probably help them with Rover, considering, you know, that's what happens. But maybe at this point, he just never goes into the Monster Association hideout, and he just winds up running into Tatsumaki, pulling the base out of the ground.
But if we're going to go back to your thing with Child Emperor, I think that also makes sense too. Because we know that, you know, it will tie back to the storyline of Child Emperor not trusting Genos. And we already saw Genos come face to face with Sitch and also talk to Sekengar, talk to Sitch on the phone and saw Sekengar in person. And then the third piece of that storyline is Child Emperor. So it would be pretty cool if he were to meet up with him, probably help him, not obviously take out Evil Natural Water, but save him from him. Maybe make you think that he defeats Evil Natural Water, but then like he comes back, of course. I think that would be interesting, maybe. And then we could see more of Daedric Genos in the process as well. My second question is, if you don't mind me asking, what is your favorite PlayStation startup theme? Mine is the PS2 theme because it has beautiful melody to it. I like the PS2 theme too. I also like the PS1 theme, like the
I don't know, it just has like a nostalgic quality to it, and it kind of has like that vaporwavy tune to it. It was actually used in a vaporwave track that I listened to
quite a few times. But the PS2 one is solid too. I'm like kind of tied between PS1 and PS2. Oh, and your favorite Tomb Raider theme? Mine are 1 and 2 from the PS1. Good memories. I haven't ever played Tomb Raider, so I'm not really familiar with those themes, honestly. And your favorite memes? Mine will be "We'll be right back." That meme is hilarious. Yes, I agree. I love all of the Eric Andre memes. Like the "We'll be right back" thing, that's from the Eric Andre show. I also love like the "Who killed Hannibal" meme from 2 years ago. That was awesome too. And I love the one when he's like on the gate, like "Let me in, let me in." And then, of course, how could you say something so brave yet so controversial? You can't go wrong with the Eric Andre show in general, but also his memes are gold as well. My second question is, I'm sorry. And last question is, what would happen if my patron bucks ate a monster cell? It would be funny in a bonus chapter if Saitama came across it and punches it and sees the money flying everywhere, because we know Kate Baldy needs the money. Thanks a million. So you might be tricking me into answering this question, because the monster cells, if you eat them, they make you as powerful as you could become. So that goes to the question, is like, how powerful can your Patreon bucks become? And I don't want to kind of bait you into like, oh, well, give me more money to prove it. I really don't want that. You already give me more than enough, and I am so grateful. Love it, Wolf Pup. But, I mean, they would become extremely powerful because you are the one above all patrons, so it would become probably like an above dragon level monster, something like that. And then, of course, Saitama can defeat it, and the money would be going everywhere, and he would just collect it like Combo Infinity style, and he would love it. But thank you a millions, Wolf Pup.
Flashy Flash asks, hello, one above all. My first question is Amai Mask versus Atomic Samurai. Who wins? I personally think that Amai Mask wins with very high diff. So this is extremely difficult to answer, but I would say that, man, maybe Atomic Samurai is going to win this one, because it's really unproven if Amai Mask can deal with Atomic Samurai's speed at this point. Now, yes, he is very fast, and he does obviously know what Atomic Samurai is capable of. So he wouldn't just rush into the fight, or maybe he would. Maybe he would try to test his speed against Atomic Samurai, like overestimating himself and then get caught up in the Atomic Slash. But honestly, it's like, I'm more so leaning towards Atomic Samurai because Amai Mask is so vulnerable to the Atomic Slash. But then it brings up the theory, like, could the Atomic Slash kill him? Like, the clean cuts that it would make. Would it just explode him? Would it dice him apart? Or would he be able to regenerate from it? Kind of like when the Evil Natural Water took his arm off. Remains to be seen, but if I were to put money on this fight, I'd probably put it on Atomic Samurai, because the Atomic Slash is just way too overpowered, and Amai Mask is unproven if he can really deal with the speed or just the effectiveness of something like that at this point. Second question, Meteoric Burst versus the S-Class heroes, including Amai Mask. Who wins? Thanks, bro. So if Blast is there, Blast could probably beat him. Just taking a guess. You know, watch my video, Blast versus Boros, if you want more insight into that. But if Blast and King aren't there, then it's a possibility, but it's not really looking good. Like, they would all be pushed working together collectively to the high diff. Also, it really depends on the full extent of Metal Knight's arsenal, so we'll exclude him. But if he just had like 100 battle robots, they would all get obliterated by Boros, and it would ultimately come down to, like, you know, the big heavy hitters all working together, like Tatsumaki, Flashy Flash, Darkshine, Drive Knight, and then we don't know the full potential of Drive Knight either. But just based off of Meteoric Boros, what we've seen against what we know of the heroes, he would probably win. Not maybe like mid diff. I don't even think it would be high diff. He would just be kicking people out of the earth and stuff.
And then the final question, Captain Levi from Attack on Titan versus the Atomic Disciples individually. Who will win? Personally, I think Levi will win. What do you think?
Thanks, bro. So Levi, very impressive. Had one of the best sequences of 2019 when he went against the Beast Titan. I love it. I rewatch it all the time. But Captain Levi just isn't a superhuman the way that the Disciples are.
He's very impressive when he's using his gear. There's no doubt about that. Like I said, the Beast Titan
is one of the greatest feats in all of anime. But like, if we're dealing with just E-Iron alone, E-Iron's like way faster than Levi. His reflexes are way faster. His power is way higher. His killing ability is way more effective. It's kind of just like he lives in a much stronger universe than Attack on Titan, being the top A-class hero. And we saw that, like, he can evade machine gun fire, and he can like fight blindfolded against what was the Devil Longhair. It's like, it's not looking good for Levi here. Maybe he could beat Bushi Drill, maybe Okamatachi, but I don't think he's taking E-Iron. So that's pretty much it for the video today, guys.
Once again, I want to thank all 107 of my incredibly attractive, overpowered patrons, guys. I hope you know by now that I love you, and I can't thank you enough. And if you would like to be in next week's Q&A, just simply check out the Patreon. The $5 tier will give you access to this video. And if you haven't subscribed, please do that as well. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.